Emmy-nominated actor Marcia Cross, best known for playing the perfectionist Bree Van Camp on the series Desperate Housewives. She's now starring in a new play. It's called Pay the Writer. It's a story that follows renowned novelist Cyrus Holt and the complicated relationship he has with his literary agent Rustin and Holt's fierce ex-wife Lana, who is played by Cross. Here's a quick preview.
You show up at my home looking for me, and my wife doesn't ask who you are?
I told her my name. Perhaps you've mentioned me at some point. I am the mother of your children.
My children. My children don't care about me.
And whose fault is that?
Yours.
Mine. Oh, please, Cyrus, you aren't still clinging to this pathetic notion that I turned your children against you. You did that all on your own, even before we were divorced.
If I may, I think you were both bad parents.
Shut up, Rustin!
Marcia Cross joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. That's
Tony,
a great scene.
It is a great scene. It's never good when someone says, "If I may."
If I may.
You know
Don't
something
mind.
good, something bad is not is going to follow.
We're both
If I
awful
may.
people.
Yes.
You wanted to be a theater actor from very early on in your life. You went to Juilliard, you trained for it. So how does it feel at this moment in your career to be on stage and doing it?
Wonderful. Actually, I wanted to be like a musical theater star, but I can't sing or dance, so that didn't happen. And then I got into Juilliard, and then I fell in love with.
Oh, so then that's quite personal because your character in the play, in that very scene,
Right.
in one of the cutting remarks that only an ex can lay on another ex is you weren't good enough for musical
right.
theater.
Yeah, I let that sink in.
Yeah. Whoa. That's a lot.
Yeah. But no, it feels wonderful to be doing theater again. I did some early in my career, and I did a couple of Shakespeare plays out at the Old Globe, and then I did Melrose. And actually, I was doing Melrose, and I got the part of Viola at Twelfth Night at the Old Globe, and my agent said, "Oh no, you can't do that part because you're doing Melrose." And I said, "The hell I can't!
Yeah.
That was my dream. I was Melrose." No offense, but I was just trying to survive. So I hired a Cessna, and I would fly at the end of the show. I'd grab my little pillow, get in my little plane with this pilot, just the two of us, and we'd fly. This only happened like 6 times. Fly me up to Oxnard, and then I would be ready to film at Melrose. So that was my...
Getting it done.
Yeah, getting it done, and it was great.
What's it like for you, though, Marcia? Because when you first walk out, everybody goes nuts the minute you appear on the screen, on the stage. What is that moment like for you when you first come out in the audience? Because we're sitting there waiting. I'm like, when is Marcia come out?
Yeah. It's not right away.
And it was 43 minutes, by the way.
Know.
But what is...
Gayle, you were timing it?
Yes, I actually was. What is that like for you as you come out on the stage?
Well, what I do is I'm back there, and I can kind of see there's a reflection, and I see Ron and Brian, and so I focus on Ron because the story is that I haven't seen him in a long time, and he's so adorable out there. I find him adorable anyway.
Yes.
And so I kind of just get excited for that moment of like, oh, I'm going to see him, and I'm going to, surprise him and charm him. Because if I think, there's all this expectation on me, then I would just sink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm
Yeah.
just an introvert and like.
It's so interesting
like
when
the rest
actors
of
say
us,
that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is to me, too. But for me, you're Desperate Housewives Bree Van Camp. That's the role that I remember you from. I love the series and watched it.
Thank you.
And here's the name of the play, Pay the Writer, as we're in the middle of this big writer's strike.
Right.
Crazy.
And all that entails.
Yes.
What does this mean to you? What are you thinking? How are you processing this?
Well, we did a reading a year ago, and at that point, I was like, "Pay the writer." I don't get it. Like with the whole story and what the play is about. I mean, it factors in.
Yeah.
But now a year later, it was so prescient. It was like, oh. Just stay out of the way, Marcia, because that was so good. Oh, hello, I wasn't even looking over there. But as far as the strike goes, I am all for it. It's long overdue. I am very sad that it's come to this because I just feel like, it's so America, or maybe it's just the world. Like, it's all about greed. Like, you need to share the profits, people. That's how any industry works, but we're not like that in America, right?
But what about Desperate Housewives, though, in terms of you all getting paid? Because now it's on streaming. We
don't get paid. Because there was no protection back then, we got paid handsomely. I'm very grateful for that. But as I've seen it be sold to Hulu, every single streaming service, you can imagine, I'm not seeing. I still get residuals if it's in, foreign or whatever, but it's
It's a difference
robbery.
between syndication
It's
and streaming.
absolute robbery is what it is.
And you have said that the industry is rigged. Those are your words. And I wonder if you would tell that to the younger version of yourself. We do have a photo from 1985, one of your earliest plays. And I want to see the photo, but I would like to ask, what would you say to that young lady about this journey that she's about to go on?
There she is.
That's with Danny Davis. You know Danny Davis? Daniel Davis, he was in The Nanny, and he's a well-known actor himself.
What would you say to that young girl?
A great picture.
I would say keep going, have faith, it's all going to work out.
Don't forget
great
to
advice.
negotiate the streaming rights.
Well,
Yes.
you know, and I remember actually I was shooting a pilot for something, and I remember saying like, well, where's the stuff about the streaming now? And they're like, oh, well, there's nothing. You just have to sign. And it didn't
Hopefully
go,
that
thank
nothing
goodness.
turns into something very soon.
You just have to sign is never a good sentence
No,
to
it's
hear.
never.
Yeah.
So right,
Especially
Tony.
when you have knowledge. And listen, there are people, I just think people don't understand that, you know, the way I survived when I first started out was you would get one show, some episodic, and then you'd get a residual, and that would pay your rent for a few
Keep you
months.
afloat.
And then you'd get another one, and you know, and then you go years without making money, and then you know, so it's yes, it looks like Tom Cruise and all the big muckamucks make all this money, but most people know it's
Times have changed.
Yeah.
The industry's got to change with
living
it.
paycheck
Marcia
to
Cross, thank you
paycheck.
so much for being here.
Thank you.
You're fantastic in this play. The play is Pay the Writer.
Pay the
You
Writer.
can see it at the Pershing Square Signature Center in New York City. 7 weeks only. That's what they're
Yes.
saying.